Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Calvin over at The Simple Driver. You are on The Simple Driver channel. Welcome back. Today is a very special video. I'm actually excited about it. I don't know exactly how that's going to portray on camera, but I'm going to bless thousands of people today. So right off the rip, let me tell you that I am going to share with you how the money is being made. And I'm going to go into detail of why I made the channel a little bit more. And I'm also going to tell you the 6 ways to get paid as an Uber driver and not driving for Uber. And I'll come back to that in a second. But first of all, let's look at some analytics so I can kind of bring you up to speed. I did 4 videos so far on the channel. Those videos have garnered 62,940 views at the time of this recording. And I now have a little over 2,500 subscribers. Each and every one of you who watched this video, I am going to bless your socks off today. And that's why I started this channel. I really want to help you. Now, of course, Uber is a business. So is there some monetary value for me on the back end of it? Of course it is. I'm trading a lot of time for money right now, which we'll get into that in a minute. But so if I get a couple subscribers or a couple referrals here or there, or whatever, it's cool. It more than makes up the time that it takes for me to take the time out of my schedule to record these videos. And I'm cool with that. As long as I'm blessing you and giving you good, solid information so that you can maximize your income, I don't have a problem with that. But apparently there are other people who do. So let me address that real quick. Obviously, I know from reading your comments, and I've tried to go in and answer all the comments that have ever been left on my videos. I know that I'm helping thousands of people, but occasionally you're going to come across a couple of trolls, a couple of people who just for whatever reason don't believe what you're saying. And I'm actually going to address those people. I've addressed a couple of people through text, but I'm going to address them through through video today. So stay tuned. This is going to be a long video, but I promise you, I'm going to tell you 6 ways that I get paid as an Uber driver and not driving for Uber. That's a very profound statement because most people out here just turning on their app, they're pushing the button and trying to wait for a call or try to get some fee and think that's what Uber is all about. It's not about that. I keep telling you guys, this is a business and it is a ton of money in there. And I'm actually going to share that information with you today. When I say share the information, I'm going to share the money with you today. Okay. So stay tuned. You ready? Here we go. All right. So I have my Evernote app out. I actually, I'm so serious about this. I actually named this note Ultimate Income Video. Okay. So I wrote some notes here because I'm pretty thorough, guys. You know, I'm saying some things that I want to talk about. So as I go through, I don't forget anything. So first of all, let's address some of the big questions that has come up and some of the big comments that have come up in my videos. Okay. So number one, you know, okay, if there's so much money in driving for Uber, right? Why aren't you driving full time? Oh gosh, really? I told you guys that I'm a photographer, and for those of you who have really been paying attention, I'm launching a company called Power Publish, which you have seen that in the background of the videos here. I don't try to hide it. The Power Publish is exactly that: produce, publish, profit. But I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about what I told you about photography, because it's going to come into the 6 ways I'm telling you about getting paid. That's going to come up. So why don't I have time to do this full time? Let's get into it. If you look here, I'm gonna come behind the camera, okay? As a photographer, let me just bring the shutter speed down so you can see this. I have celebrity clients, okay? So you can see here, this is me and Kelly Price, and I'm gonna go through here. That's Fantasia, that's Monica, that's Faith Evans. You can see here, that's Tiana Taylor, who Kanye just used her in his video. That's Young Jeezy, that's me. T.I. and Young Jeezy. I did the behind the scenes of their G-Shit video. That's Tiny. That's Mimi Faust, 7th Streeter. The whole cast of reality stars of Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's Tamar Braxton. That's me and Little John. Me and Keisha Knight Pulliam. That's me and Jocelyn. That's me and Danny Kane. You get where it's going. Eric Estrada. That's Kelly Rowland. Mike Epps. Tyrese. You get where that's going. I don't have to keep going with it. You guys get where this is going. So I'm a very busy man. Okay. I have several businesses that I run, and some of those businesses, I have to interact with multi-million-dollar clients for my photography business and stuff like that. But so why am I doing Uber? I told you guys, Uber, there's a ton of money in Uber. Just because you make money somewhere else doesn't mean that you shouldn't take advantage of the opportunity that Uber affords a lot of people. For some of you, this will be your first business, and I want to make sure that it's successful. So that's why I started The Simple Driver. But let's talk about the money that I make here, okay? Oh no, let's talk about the weekly rating, because I got a bunch of people bashing me. Oh, your weekly rating is gonna go down. This and bull crap. I know too much. Your rating comes from professionalism and knowledge. Okay, and I have a ton of it. I told you I hit this thing really hard. So, but let's go into my Uber app real quick here, because when I did the first video, I think I had a little over 500 some rides. I have over 600 some rides, almost 700 rides now. But more importantly, let's go into my weekly reports. I'm coming back behind the camera, guys. Let's look here. When I did my first video, I was a 4.91. I am now a 4.92. But more importantly, if you go here and look at my weekly reports, let me bring the shutter speed down so you can see this. So you'll see here 4.95, 5, 4.94. This is every week. 5, 5, 5. And you can, I'll even go into it to show you. Listen, 31 trips, 21 people rated me out of those trips. And out of the 21 ratings, 21 people rated me 5-star. That's not luck. Oh, let me go back. Let me turn this back so we're not, okay, turn that back so you can see me. Okay, that's not luck, all right? I have the information that I'm giving you guys, the intellectual property that I'm sharing with you on this channel, will have you making and being a 5-star driver every single week. Out of 31 rides, 21 people rated me 5 stars. And that was for the last 3 weeks that I drove. This is not dumb luck. I know what I'm doing, and I want to help you guys, okay? So that's the answer. The rating question is like, oh, you're gonna have a low rating and you're gonna drop to a 4.65. Nonsense, not me. Okay. Number 3, why is the gap for the consistent income? Why did you say $500 to $1,500? Well, I said $500 to $1,500 because I wanted to include everyone. You know what I mean? Regardless of the market that you're in. But to be honest with you, here in the Atlanta market, I really wanted to put $1,000 to $3,000 a week. But that would have scared the shit out of a bunch of people. But that's what I wanted to do. But today, I'm going to show you that I could have easily said $1,000 to $3,000 a week consistently. Now, some of you going to be bucking your eyes and going to be like BS, because my favorite comment on it is bullshit. Today, I'm going to show you how it is not bullshit. Okay, let's get to the next thing, which is comical for me. You don't make that much because of your expenses. Oh, God. A lot of people out here honestly believe that driving for Uber is only a $10 to $12 an hour business. You are so wrong. I'm going to prove that to you today. You have been missing a lot of money, and I'm going to enlighten you today. So I'll get to that. I'm not even go into that. We'll get to that in a second. And then we're going to talk about why 60% of Uber drivers quit after a year. There's a lot of attrition in the Uber business, but it's because people aren't educated. They don't have the type of intellectual property that I'm sharing with you on this channel. They don't have that information, so they get frustrated because their paychecks are very low, or their pay weeks, I should say, are very low. The daily amount of money that they make is very low, so they aren't making a lot, and they get frustrated and they quit, which is it's a lot more money on the table for me and you for that matter. And I'm gonna show you that. So let's just get down to it. I don't want to waste too much time. There's 6 ways that I get paid as an Uber driver and not driving for Uber. Okay, and that statement is powerful. Think about it. As an Uber driver and not driving for Uber. Now, of course, I do drive for Uber. So let's talk about the 6 ways. The number one way to get paid as an Uber driver is to actually drive. And what I like to call that is trading time for money. Okay, there's only a certain amount of hours in the day, right? And you got to sleep and rest and eat. And maybe if you're a family man like myself or whatever, you got to, play with your kids, entertain your wife, entertain family and friends or whatever, right? So there's only so many hours in the day. So that is called trading time for money. But I do trade time for money because it's valuable. So let's talk about it real quick. A lot of you think that, driving for Uber, if you drive in X mode, that you can't make a bunch of money. That is nonsense, okay? But I'm going to tell you about not only driving in X mode, how it's you're going to be able to make a lot of money, but remember there's other platforms out there as well. So some of you need to hear this. Now, I'm an X driver and I'm also an XL driver. So I got a lot of comments and people asking me, "Hey Calvin, I noticed that you had XL on some of your fares. Do you drive XL? Are you able to just drive XL only?" So let me tell you, absolutely yes. As an XL driver, in my account, I have two accounts inside of Uber. One is for Uber X and XL, right, when I'm driving the Pathfinder. One is for, well, I have three accounts actually. I have an X account, which is for the Sentra. That's it. But for my Nissan account, there's two options to drive in strictly X and XL mode, if I'm around an XL passenger, it'll ding out. Or I can flip over and strictly drive XL only mode, okay? But let me share with you how you can mix that up, and you can make easily $175 here in my city. You can. In your city, maybe a little bit less, maybe a lot more. But let's just go into it. Let me go here and find an example of what I'm talking about here. So let me give me a second here. I just want to go in where I know, because I have certain days that I do this, and it's easy for me to making, $1,300, $1,500, $1,600, $2,000 in a week is child's play. Okay, here's a good one. I just go all the way back here. Let me open this up. Now, the reason I want to find this is on a Wednesday. Look, this is a Wednesday. Wednesday, that's April 13th. I'm going to come right here because I don't feel like recording my screen. Let me bring up the shutter speed so you can see this. But here's a Wednesday, right, in April. Now, on this Wednesday, I made $175, 0 referrals, 0 incentives or promotions or bonuses or whatever. And if you look in here, I also took a pool ride. So let's just break this down for a quick second. What happened is I left out of the airport in X mode. Okay, you can see that in my Pathfinder. I left out in X mode, $16. I came back to the airport, left out of X mode again, $17.86. While I was out there, I go out, when I get to the destination out in the city, I switch to XL mode. In XL mode, because you're by a bunch of hotels and stuff like that, I switched to XL mode. I caught a fare coming from the hotel back to the airport for $44. And let me just click on this so you can see. So Delk Road in Marietta, and I went right back to the North Terminal, okay, in XL mode, $44. Came back, left out of the airport, caught a pool, but it doesn't matter to me because I accept it all. Left out of the airport on a pool, $11, switched to XL mode in Decatur and caught a fare in XL mode back to the terminal for $46, okay? And then that was at 2 o'clock. I left, I went home, okay? Played with the kids and did everything I need to do at home. Went back out at 9 o'clock in X mode, caught a $20 fare out of the airport, called a $10 fare while I was out there, and then an $8 fare in the city, and I went home. 7 hours online, I only did 8 trips, made $175. Okay? Hopefully you saw the power in that. Oh, wait, I gotta fix my camera here because this is just raw. I'm giving it to you guys raw right here. I want to make sure I got enough lighting, okay? So if I'm able to do this and make $175 in one day, and I'm in X and XL mode driving and flipping it because I know how to do that, you got to understand that it is absolute child's play. Making $1,500, $2,000 a week for me is child's play, just trading my time for money. Now, the power in that is, now some of you don't drive XL vehicles, but don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to maximize and make a ton of money just in X mode, so stay tuned. But for those of you who have the ability to drive XL or Uber Blacks, whatever, let me just explain something to you. It's levels to this shit. Okay, let me give you an analogy. If you were to walk into a Ford dealership to buy a Mustang, right? And all Mustangs will get you from A to B, right? But you will understand very quickly when you go into that Mustang dealership that there's different levels of Mustangs. You have the V6, you have the V8. I'm not a Mustang driver, but I just kind of know this. V6, V8, I think they got GTs, fastbacks, right? You got Salines, Cobras, and Shelbys. All of these are different levels of Mustang, but they all get you from point A point B, but some of them get you from point A to point B a lot faster. Okay, and that's what I'm doing here, bringing it back to Uber. I'm helping you get from point A to point B, or maximizing your income a lot faster. But let's take it even a step further. Some of the people who buy those Mustangs, right, they have the intellectual property to say, I want to lower this Mustang so I get better handling. So they buy E-box springs, they get bigger wheels, okay, they get X-rated and Z-rated tires or whatever it is to hold the road, right? Some will get strut tire bars and, you know, wings and kits and stuff like that, and put ECU chips or whatever so there's no governor, and they get catback exhaust or whatever. What I'm trying to tell you is this is the same thing. As an Uber driver, I'm not just a guy who rides around in a basic 6-cylinder damn Mustang. I'm the guy who bought the Cobra or the Shelby, and then I went and then I added aftermarket parts. I get to where I'm going really, really fast, very efficiently. I maximize my income. That's number one, trading time for money. You can see very easily how it's easy for me to make $1,500 or $2,000 a week when I'm able to go out and make basically $200 a day with just 8 freaking trips, okay? That's number one, trading time for money. Number two is referrals, okay? Referrals is what I call passive income. It's, you don't have to trade time for the money that you get on it. It's passive, okay? Now, let's just go in here and let's see as I go to my website. Now, you guys know that I have the simpledriver.com, so we're gonna talk to you about that. But if I go here and I click on send invites, here's what's happening. Everyone has a referral code. You just don't know how to use it. You're not properly using it right. All right, so I'm gonna go in here and show you how it should be used. So if you look at my code, and I gotta come back behind the screen because I'm not recording today. This is just raw, okay? So as I come behind the screen here on the camera, right? I'm going to put this down so you can see it. You'll see that here's my Uber invite code, right? And it's 21DKFZ2VU, right? Who the hell's gonna remember that? You can't. What? So, but if you click here and you track invites, and I'm gonna blur the name out when it pops up because I don't want to put anybody's names out here, whatever. But you'll see right now, is this in focus? You'll see that right now I have in my referral queue $5,700. All right, now let me come back around the camera so I can talk to you about this, okay? There's $5,710 in my referral queue right now. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. The amount of money that has came out of the referral queue, tens of thousands of freaking dollars. I get 2 to 3 people that sign up every single day, and sometimes it's even more than that go into this queue. This queue climbs up every single day, and it's constantly, people are constantly falling out of the queue, the referrals coming out, making thousands of dollars as a referral. Now here's how this works. Most of you aren't using it right. You take your referral code and you say, oh, you know, my referral code is 23, or will you shy away from it because you can't remember that whole thing, whatever. Not me. I take my referral code, I embed that in my website, The Simple Driver. Now I'm able to give information to my people with and they're going to remember it. They're not going to remember 21D40. I can't remember that crap. I never try to remember. I can tell people, go to thesimpledriver.com. Every time you drive, you will get, I have 20 questions that, the most 20 most questions that people ask you as an Uber driver. I don't answer any of them. You know what I do? I send them to the simpledriver.com. Why? Because they'll remember that. And then when they get that intellectual property, they're very excited about it. They go and tell they tell all their friends, and they say, man, where did you learn that, or how'd you get that information? And you know what they say? They don't say, oh, I learned it from the guy who gave me his code 21, whatever the hell it is that Uber gave me. They say, I got it from thesimpledriver.com. Okay? I got it from The Simple Driver. He's got a YouTube channel. They are actually branding, you know, my referral business for me. Okay, there is thousands of mouthpieces out there that are spreading the word for The Simple Driver, which is all paying me referrals. When I get in my vehicle and I give people thesimpledriver.com and they tell their friends and families or whatever, it's all passive income. And believe me, it counts. It's nothing wrong with it. The reason that Uber gives you the referral code is because they want you to know I want you to help us build the business, and we'll pay you for that because it helps you offset the amount of time that you have to spend behind the wheel driving. It is another source of income, and it's passive. Geez, you guys gotta, I hope that you're getting this. I mean, I'm gonna do a video that's gonna help people put up a website as well too. It's plenty of money for all of us out here. I'm not a hoard, so I'm gonna do a video that's gonna show you how to build your website and get it looking like mine so that you can make a ton of money. But just think about this for a second. Sometimes addressing the people, oh, you don't make that amount of money because of maintenance or whatever. Dude, sometimes I make $2,000 or $3,000 in a week, and my Pathfinder, my Sentra never leaves the driveway. Not for Uber anyway. You know what I mean? You got to think about that. This is all income for you. Trading time for money. Passive income, which is the referrals. So let's get into number 3. Number 3, tips. Please do not underestimate the income of tips. That's number 3. I get more tips than the average Uber driver, and probably the above average Uber driver, because of my knowledge and my professionalism when I'm out driving. And I use that money to pay for my gas. So please don't talk to me about I'm not making this amount of money because of maintenance and because of it. Dude, you've been doing it so wrong. I make a ton of money trading time for money, referrals, and because of my knowledge base and my professionalism, I make a ton of money in tips. And when I say a ton of money in tips, I'm talking somewhere around $80, $90 a week in tips, which is really good. Okay, I don't know, maybe somebody's making more, but in my opinion, $80, $90 a week in tips is really good because it pays for gas. Remember, I drive a Sentra. That thing sips gas. And when I'm driving the Pathfinder, I don't go very far because most of your XL riders are only traveling like 5 to 10 miles. So I don't eat up a lot of gas. And when I move that truck, they are paying for it. As you can see, if I'm going to the airport in XL mode, it's $45, $50. Don't let me hit you on the surge. It's $80, $100. You guys have seen that. So my tips cover my gas money. So I'm not worried about maintenance and expenses and stuff like that. I've already mapped this thing out. Okay, I'm trying to move this thing along. So what was that? Number 3. Number 4, okay, bonuses. Now, bonuses is a crapshoot. Uber will send you, incentives, if you drive this amount of hours and pick up this amount of trips in this area, whatever, $24 or $25 guaranteed an hour, $30 guaranteed, $800 a weekend. It's a crapshoot, but it is an option. It is one of the ways to earn income. So you have to count it because there's sometimes I go out and I'll snatch up a bonus. You know what I mean? It's not often. I got to tell you, it's a crapshoot. It's not often, but you have to count it. This is your business, okay? So those are the 4. Now you say, well, what? You said it was 6. What are the other 2? Here's where you guys get blessed. You ready? I'm fixing my glasses here. You ready? Business to business. Think about this for a second. And it's been around forever. It's nothing new. Your taxi drivers, right? Let me make sure I'm still recording here because this can't. Okay, I'm still recording. Remember, this is raw. I'm not trying to edit this stuff for nothing. Okay. Taxi drivers have been riding around in Las Vegas and New York forever advertising, right? They got advertisements on their vehicle, right? Plastered on the side, on the top with lights and everything. Do I want you to have advertisements on your vehicle plastered all over the place? Hell no. That's silly. Don't do that. This is 2016. I'm going to show you a better way. How in the world does Calvin make, and I think I'm averaging somewhere between $800, $900 a month doing this, what's called business to business. All right? Think about this. Let's just say, I'm going to put you in this scenario. Let's just say you own a barbecue place here in Atlanta. I now come to you, barbecue place owner, and I come to you and I say, hey, listen, my name is Calvin. I'm an Uber driver. I'm not just an Uber driver, but I'm an elite Uber driver. And I show them my ratings, right? And I show them, and I tell them how many passengers I have in my vehicle on a monthly basis. And then I let him know one of the number 1 questions that I get with people in my vehicle is, where's a good place to eat? Remember, Atlanta has an international airport, and a ton of people come into this city for entertainment all the time, okay? And they're in my vehicles. A lot of people are in my vehicles. So I'm telling this business owner, listen, sir, it's just like the taxi business, but it's better. As an Uber driver, not only am I able to communicate with my passengers through text messages and phone calls and that, but it's a more intimate conversation that I'm having with them. So where am I going with this? Long story short, bars, pubs, clubs, and restaurants in my city. And I'm not going to tell you which ones because I would just be inviting competition, okay? But even if you did find out, you would have to come with it because I'm a 4.29 driver. I'm really good, okay? So, but for you, here's what happens. You go to these businesses and you make business transactions. Now, some of them won't want to pay you monetary value. Some of them will say, I'll give you a free glass of wine when you come, a free meal every time you come into my restaurant, bar, or pub or club or whatever. And it works that way. But some of them will go into business with you and contract with you to say, if you send this amount of people to my restaurant, I'll pay you $200. It's worth $200 a month to me for that, okay? And that's a whole nother video that I need to show you guys how to do that. But some people give you business cards and they'll write codes, promo codes on it and stuff like that. I don't got time to go into it, but just understand this. I have several bars, pubs, clubs, and restaurants in this city that pay me a monetary value to send people that are in my Uber vehicle to their place of business. Yeah, that happens. Business to business. And I'm not riding around with no damn advertisements on my vehicle. It's just my intellectual property and treating this like a business. I get the money. I get the money. So that's B2B. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Let's go to B2C. This is the sixth way. I'm a photographer, guys. You saw that, right? So I don't care that if I'm riding in X mode sometimes and in X mode, I get a $3 or $7, what, $3.74, whatever, something like $7 or $10 fare. I never look at it like that. Every person that enters into my vehicle has a potential to be a customer for my photography business, which at the minimum, I charge a minimum of $1,500 to point my camera at anything, okay? Minimum $1,500. And most of the time, if it's weddings or something like that, it may be $5,000 or $6,000 or $10,000. So what am I saying to you? Every person that enters into your vehicle has the potential to be a consumer for your other business. Wait a minute. Stop the presses. You mean to tell me that Uber is going to allow me to push a button on my phone and they're going to pay me to acquire other customers for my other business? Can you see how it's easy for me to, when I tell you $500, $1,500 a week, I should have put $1,000 to $3,000 a week because that's what it is for me. But I didn't want to scare the shit out of anybody. But I'm giving you the goods now. So let's just recap here real quick because I don't want this thing to be too long. Let me just check on it real quick here. Are we at 28, 29 minutes? Let me just stop it real quick. Okay, I had to stop the recording because the camera that I use has a 30-minute limit and I was at like 29 minutes, okay? So I caught it just in time. So coming back to it, let's do this recap real quick. There's 6 ways to get paid as an Uber driver and not driving for Uber. Stop it, knock it off. You've been missing so much money. You guys could be making $2,000, $3,000 a daggone week. Let me go back into it real quick before I go into the recap. Going back into the platforms, I was talking to you about the Mustang, right? Think about this. It's levels to this shit. If there's a reason that Uber has Uber X in this city anyway. Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Select, Uber SUV, Uber Black, and Uber Pool. It's levels to this shit. Here's what you don't understand. I'm guaranteed to make more money than the average X driver just in driving in my Pathfinder. If I go and I drive my Pathfinder and I stick it and I place it in X and XL mode, I'm going to get X fares, but if there's an XL request around me, I'm going to get the XL request. Now, this is important. Watch this. So that's if I'm riding around that way, okay? If I flip to XL only mode, anytime my phone rings, it's XL money. I know I'm going to get paid. Well, there's a ton of Uber Black and Uber SUV drivers here in Atlanta. Do you think people are buying $60,000 and $70,000 vehicles because they're only making $10 to $12 an hour? So what you got after maintenance? Are you kidding me? Let me break it down for you, okay? The average Uber SUV and Uber Black driver makes like $2,500 a week. It is child's play. It is child's play. Let me tell you why. I qualify for Uber X and Uber XL when I'm out there in my Pathfinder. But guess what they qualify? And I can go into XL only mode. Guess what they can do, guys? You ready for this? The Uber SUVs it's a reason that you never see white SUVs or silver or red. They're black. Here's why. Not only do they qualify for Uber Black, They qualify for Uber SUV, they qualify for Uber Select, and they qualify for Uber XL. Anytime their phone rings, it is money. They make $400 or $500 a day out here in Atlanta. I know it. I'm able to make $200 a day just riding in X and XL mode. You think these guys aren't making $300, $400, $500, $600 sometimes dollars a day? I've seen it with my own eyes. It is a ton of money out here. You guys have been missing it, but I want to inform you. Most people wouldn't give you this type of good information, but I don't care, man. Okay, here we go. Let me get back to the recap on this, and then I'm gonna end this video because I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. Some people gonna get it, some people are not. It is what it is. So 6 ways to make money as an Uber driver and not driving for Uber. Number 1, driving, which is trading time for money. Okay. Number 2, referrals, passive income. I make thousands of dollars and sometimes my vehicles never leave the driveway. Okay. Number 3, tips. If you're watching my videos, I'm showing you how to maximize your knowledge base and your professionalism so that you can get higher tips and you can get tips at a more frequent rate. For me, $80 to $90 a week, which covers gas. Okay, cool. That was number 3. Number 4, okay, bonuses. Uber is constantly throwing out bonuses for guarantees for $25 an hour, $30 an hour, or $800 or $500 or $1,500 a week or whatever. It's a crapshoot, but you still have to count it. Number 5, business to business. I just told you, find your local bars, pubs, clubs, and restaurants and go do business with them. Now, some of you are going to be scared as hell, and which means there's going to be more money on the table for people like me who aren't scared. Go talk to those business owners. Let them know that you are an Uber driver. Let them know that you're an elite Uber driver and you want to engage in business with them. You want to send more people through the planks of their doors, but you will do it for a fee, or you will do it for some type of free meal or glass of wine or free entry into the club any and every time, or VIP, whatever. Figure it out yourself, but I'm just telling you, it's money, okay? And then B2C. For some of you, this is Uber is your first business, and that's cool. You got to start somewhere. But for other people, think about it. What other business can I start? What have I always wanted to do? Now that I'm driving for Uber and I have more time, right? Time freedom, right? I can make my own hours up and get this money. What kind of business can I start? And how can I use Uber to fund the business? And what I mean by that is, remember, any and everybody who gets in my vehicle is the potential client for my photography business. At the minimum, you're getting hit with $1,500, and many times when I'm doing it, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. So you take all of that and you divide that up, and that's how I'm able to say $500 to $1,500 a week. When to be honest with you, I should have said $1,000 to $3,000 a week. Okay, but now you know how. Now you know why. Okay. Hopefully that helped a lot of people. I answered a lot of questions. I got rid of the naysay stuff about, it's $10, $12 an hour. You've been missing money. You've been missing money. I started this channel because I want to share this intellectual property with you, and I'm passionate about it. So if you're going to leave a comment on my website, negative or positive, I'm probably going to answer it, but let's make sure that it engages people to help them out, because bashing me does you no good. I'm going to get this money. The money is getting got. So you're not hurting me. You're only hurting other Uber drivers. And if that's your intention, I'll probably delete your content or your comment. But if you really want to help yourself and your other fellow Uber drivers, man, leave a positive comment. I'll engage it. I'll help you out even. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with that. I don't know if I have anything else to say, man, because this kind of been going on right now. I'm a little over probably 40 minutes on this video. Here's the thing. For those of you who really want to get more information, because it takes me time to record these videos, okay? And I don't have time. My time is very limited. It's restricted, okay? If you want my intellectual property, if you're getting really good information out of the videos that I'm recording, I'm not going to be recording a whole lot more of these videos, but I will start recording audio. You see, I got my microphone here. I'm going to start recording audio. So head over to thesimpledriver.com/tips. I'm going to have an email list that you can join, and only the people that's on that email list are going to get like the behind the scenes dope information. Even though I'm giving you a ton of information now for free, I'm going to give some serious information through audio. And the reason I want to go audio is because you spend a lot of time in your vehicle, and it's easy for you to acquire, digest this information through listening to it in your car on audio. Okay. So you won't be seeing much of me because I'm probably gonna record one more video, show you guys how to make a website so that you can maximize your earnings and get to the passive income. Okay, so you can make thousands of dollars. How would you like to make $20,000 in passive income? And just in referrals, man, just because you have a website up. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And I'm not gonna charge you for it, right? I'm gonna just give you the information for free. How cool is that? But for the rest of the information, thesimpledriver.com/tips. And that's where I'm gonna have an email list, and I'm gonna only, you know, give this information out to people on that email list. Okay, I hope you've been blessed. I hope that you got a lot out of this information, man. I know it's kind of long, but you guys know how I do it. I'm thorough. The reason these videos have to be thorough, long, is because I'm giving you really good information. I don't want to leave anything out. So thanks for visiting the channel. Thanks for watching the video. I'm Calvin, the Simple Driver. Deuces.